We'll start with LifeSaver because you can't start with anything better than a LifeSaver. So LifeSaver is a mobile, or LifeSaver Mobile is a fleet safety mobile software that measures and reduces distracted driving for commercial fleet operators. We're also going to hear from MicroTraffic, which uses artificial intelligence to review intersection camera footage for collisions, near miss collisions, and helps traffic engineers become more proactive with safety. PreAct Technologies as well is a company that we're going to hear with. And what PreAct Technologies does is they integrate directly with cars to determine whether a collision is imminent and even microseconds before it actually happens, meaning significant savings in so many ways. And the PreAct team will tell us more about how they do it. We're also going to hear from AutoGuardian By SmartCone, which is designed to empower municipalities to improve traffic flow and make streets and traffic intersections safer for all. I think that's something that really appeals to all of us. We're also going to hear from Tara and the Numina team about what Numina does, which is basically measures what, where, and when, how things move in the streets and the open space. And they're going to tell us about how their proprietary sensors leverage computer vision while protecting personal privacy. And last but not least, and this was not going in any order, by the way, we're going to hear from Weatherlogix, who will basically talk about how they provide detailed future weather information for all highways and cities in Canada and the US that really helps commercial drivers know where weather is disrupting transportation and how further weather systems will affect roads and highways. So really thrilled about all of this, really excited to hear from every one of these companies. Let's do it, Jason.
Hi, my name is Ted Chen. I'm the co-founder of LifeSaver Mobile, and we are a driver safety solution for commercial fleets. So there are several top pain points for commercial fleets these days. The first one is driver hiring and retention. As you might know, that's a pretty difficult thing to do these days. And as you get deeper into the labor pool, safety becomes even more of an issue because you're trying to hire and you end up with less qualified drivers, which means safety becomes even more of an issue. So safety is a huge issue for fleet operators these days. And during we live in this very interesting times these days. Global chip shortage is one of those challenging things that we are all struggling with. And of course, when it comes to fleet safety, it affects the fleet safety issues too. One of the reasons why it does that is because you're trying to implement solutions that may be based on hardware devices. And so we encourage people, if you're going to do anything around driver safety, fleet safety during this hardware challenged period, look for additional solutions that don't have additional hardware. And so that's what we do. We are a 100% software-based solution. So, you may be very familiar with some of the fleet solutions, safety solutions out there for driver safety. And telematics and dash cams are well known, and they're hardware-based solutions. Many fleet operators and fleet ecosystem providers are looking at cell phone blocking as yet a third leg to the stool, which will combine to really make for a comprehensive driver safety program for your fleet. And so when it comes to that, these are kind of the three big legs. And if you get sort of all three together, you've really made it a much more comprehensive solution or program for your entire driver population. As you can see here, there's lots of different types of unsafe behaviors. And what we do, just to highlight that in the first column there, is we really bring prevention to the phone handling and the phone calls, so that folks that are trying to use that device, as you know, is a very distracting and alluring type of behavior. We bring that prevention to that device so that it really has become much more secure. So our unique approach to fleet safety is that we're software only. We're preventive in that we tackle that problem in cab during the drive so that there's less coaching on the back end. and we're tackling two of the leading causes of collisions: crash frequency and crash severity, being phone distraction and speeding, are tackled by our solution. Really, what it all bakes down to is that it's a software-only platform. Our mobile app goes onto the corporate mobile device, and it's managed by an administrative platform that is accessed by the employer, the fleet managers. What we do in cab is we do three things that bring restriction to unsafe driving behavior. One is screen blocking, two is call blocking and or reporting, and three is speeding alerts, verbal speeding alerts. All three of those are done are performed right when the employee is attempting to do that unsafe behavior. And we do that contextually. So obviously only when they're driving, of course. And then, of course, the other piece that is very common for employers to ask for is, we only want this to happen when you're on duty. So we figured out lots of different ways to consume that on-duty signal from a customer, so that we only apply those restrictions when that employee is really on duty. The portal, which I mentioned earlier, controls the entire program, when and how these restrictions occur, how often the reporting happens, if you want push reporting to your managers, if you want push reporting to your employees, all that can be done through the portal. The entire program is controlled by the portal. And at the end of the day, the outcome that everyone's looking for is, I don't want to coach my drivers. I just want a system that in place that will actually correct that behavior during the drive. And that's what we do, right? Our app is blocking those dangerous interactions with the phone, and also verbally telling them when to slow down after crossing speed thresholds established by the employer in the portal. Here's an example of a large enterprise fleet that we recently worked with, and they decided to push our app to all their driver devices, and they've reduced their driver distraction significantly, as you can see. Our ideal customer profile and folks that we work with all day long is the customer that has corporate issued devices. Usually we talk to the corporate safety folks or the IT folks that manage the corporate devices. And as you can see on the left-hand side there, we work specifically with 2 or 3 big segments of fleets: the work truck guys, the last mile delivery fleets, and then sales and service as well. So those are our primary areas of commercial fleets that we work with. Once again, these are some of the advantages of working with LifeSaver Mobile and our solution. Software only, big advantage from a cost perspective, implementation, the whole 9 yards. Everything just becomes easier when it's pure software. Even procurement, as we said, with the global chip shortage, you can't get certain hardware devices these days. And of course, being proactive and imposing those restrictions during the drive is so much better than coaching that unsafe behavior after the fact. And of course, you by doing so, you also avoid the costly incident as well. And finally, just as a sort of a recap of everything that's out there and what we just reviewed, driver safety is a big pain point. We tackle 2 of the biggest risk factors. We don't have any hardware, so no dependencies on supply chain. Less coaching is better for everyone, and we're always innovating to bring new features into our platform, which is easy to do because we're a software-only platform. And that's a quick and efficient, hopefully, summary of what we do, LifeSaver Mobile, and this is how you can reach us and find out more. Thank you very much for your time.
Hello, my name is Craig Milligan. I am a road safety engineer and co-founder of MicroTraffic. We're working in road safety, which is a huge problem. We see 1.3 million people dying every year from traffic crashes. and it's the leading cause of death for young people. But despite it being a huge problem, most of the risk in the road network cannot yet be seen in crash data. And this leaves road authorities in a reactive approach where they're investing in money at intersections to fix them only after crashes happen instead of before they happen. The solution we're using to address this problem is to measure near misses. We do that with video analytics. And what that allows road authorities to do is to discover risk factors that they didn't know existed previously. It allows them to invest proactively in road safety improvements. And by doing this, they can prevent fatalities before they happen. You know, the first time we introduced this technology was when our home province of Manitoba gave us a pilot project, and we recorded overhead video for 3 days at 2 intersections along a highway corridor. And the near misses we discovered after we put it through the system were shocking to us, to our clients, to everyone. Dozens of people were having near-death experiences every single day. This road authority quickly allocated a large sum of money to fix more than 20 intersections along this corridor that effectively eliminated this risk pattern. The way the technology works is there's two components. The first component is a computer vision technology, and this produces spatially accurate tracks of road users from overhead cameras. And it works with a lot of different types of cameras. It even works with LiDAR sensors and radar sensors as well. These trajectories are then fed into our kinetic risk models. And this is the second part of our technology. What these models do is they look at how close people are to a crash and how much energy could have been transferred and the potential for injury. In fact, in a paper we were able to publish with Ryerson University last year, we found that these kinetic risk models can predict injury crashes with 94% accuracy. So we're using these technologies to bring products to market in the smart cities sector. We offer cities diagnostic snapshots of their intersections using a few days of video, and edge analytics, which continuously streams near miss data from permanently installed cameras. And these solutions are now used by 95 communities. We're also offering products in the automotive sector, such as taking these near misses and using them as training data to better help the self-driving cars prepare for unexpected and risk behavior by road users. Being part of the Aviva Safe by Connected Cities Accelerator had a big impact. It led to 15 new cities joining our user community, 64 intersections being diagnosed, and hundreds of investments in road safety being planned at intersections across Canada, coast to coast. So I want to thank Aviva for that and Highline Data for providing this opportunity. And I want to thank you for taking the time to learn about MicroTraffic.
Hi, my name is James Dawson. I'm with PreAct Technologies. We spun out of a DARPA R&D program. We have about, our product is about $1 million worth of funding over 10 years to develop software-defined flash LiDARs. Our main focus is in automotive safety and convenience. We're working with a few of the major tier ones to bring more convenience and more safety towards the vehicles and the occupants in the vehicle, as well as the people around the cars. We're also working with several trucking companies to make the vehicles more safe and more convenient and more efficient. One of our new products is a volumetric measurement camera, which allows efficient loading of the semi-trailers. We're also working with robotics companies to help identify human that are working close to the machines. We also provide obstacle detection, cliff detection, QR code scanning, 2D line scanning for maneuvering through the warehouses, as well as gesture recognition. Our main product is the TrueSense camera. It's broken down into two components. The first component being TrueSense, which is the perception layer. The second component is a micro-domain controller called TrueDrive, which allows up to 4 cameras to be connected and applications to be delivered, both at manufacturing and over the air for the life of the camera. Again, we are PreAct Technologies. We're working with automotive, trucking, heavy equipment, specialty equipment, logistics, and robotics companies to make their products safe, secure, and profitable. If you'd like to work with us, please let us know by contacting us at www.preacttech.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Tennille Houston, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of AutoGuardian by SmartCone. AutoGuardian brings intelligent mobility solutions to get people to their destination in a safer, smarter, and more eco-friendly way. We use infrastructure and make it intelligent to use sensors to collect various data and then be able to light up crosswalks, bike lanes, and more to create safer streets. I'll show you a bit of that technology in this video here. So you can see that we believe in a more connected future, connecting vehicles, cyclists, and transit. Even autonomous vehicle transportation can use advanced sensors. Here at the intersection, we use AI to actually detect people before they cross and automatically light up flashing lights to show that they're coming. We do the same in bike lanes, using that AI to see far down the road and give that advanced alert of an approaching cyclist. Now, all these sensors collect various data that can be shown to a city to make intelligent, informed decisions to create those safer roads. We did just that at a pilot here in Beaumont, and it was very exciting. We were able to take 2 standard crosswalks that were not lit up, 2 zebra crossings, and we put infrastructure up on the pole about 10 meters high on existing lights. Now, on each pole, we actually had a device that had cameras, artificial intelligence, and radar, and LTE modules to be able to send back that data. We were able to collect data for 2 weeks, and we broke it up into various zones to be able to tell the city how many people actually used the trails, the sidewalks, and even the crossing itself. Additionally, we measured how many vehicles were seen in each direction and what their average speed was at all times during the day. After we measured this data for 2 weeks, we then put up these intelligent torches on either side of the crossing, and these were lit up by the same sensors that collected the data in the first place. So we created intelligent zones, and as each pedestrian walked into this zone to cross, these torches would automatically light up. From here, we collected that exact same data for 2 more weeks to see if there was any change in the speed and if we could validate a reduction in speed overall. The findings overall were consistent at both locations in that speed was not seen as an issue, and actually speed was always below the maximum speed limit at both places. However, on adding the infrastructure, we still were able to take down that speed by 3 to 4 kilometers on average during the peak school and working hours. So you can see to the right the graphs before installation, the speed in red, and after installation, you see that significant drop consistent on both of the intersections. So we were able to use this data to provide insight to assist the priority level to which these 2 intersections in particular would be addressed on the upgrade list in the city of Beaumont. Many cities have, studies done to be able to see which intersections they should change and upgrade, but oftentimes not the budget to do it all at once. So we can utilize these sensor systems to help them make informed decisions on where to act sooner rather than later. And now we just believe that it's up to cities to find this technology and to utilize it to identify their key areas to reduce risk and to create safer, smarter roads. Thanks so much.
My name is Tara Pham. I'm co-founder and CEO of Numina. Our mission is to empower communities with data to become more responsive. We focus on transportation equity and helping cities become more walkable and bikeable. We do this work today in more than 30 cities around the world, where our customers range from municipalities and transit agencies to campuses, real estate developers, and Fortune 500 industrials and mobility companies. We do this as a small team of less than 10 people. And for our work, we've been recognized recently by the World Economic Forum as a technology pioneer. We were recently the grand prize winner of the Toyota Mobility Foundation's City Architecture for Tomorrow Challenge, and we're proudly a member of the Elemental Accelerator portfolio. So what is it that Numina does? We measure all types of street level activity in a completely privacy by design way using computer vision. So we make a camera-based sensor that uniquely is able to detect the actual paths traveled, not just of cars, but of everyone in the street, bicycles, pedestrians. We also measure things like dogs and bags of trash. And we do this totally anonymously and convert all of this path data into analytics that urban planners and facilities managers can use. And here we're seeing an example of a thoroughfare in Kuala Lumpur, where we can see that pedestrians without appropriate crossing infrastructure end up having to risk their lives crossing this busy road. We do this processing all onboard our sensor. So we make a proprietary device that's designed to mount to light poles. It transmits data over cell phone network, and it is actually processing all of the imagery inside that device and discarding the imagery to only send anonymous insights back to our servers. In our program, or in our projects with the Safe and Connected Accelerator, first we looked at slow streets with the city of Kitchener. They were interested in understanding the impact of slow streets on traffic patterns and accessibility, especially with regard to social distancing during the pandemic. We did find and validate that daily vehicle volume counts decreased at most slow street locations, and when traffic volume was down for cars, there were an increased number of bicycles and pedestrians, which was very validating, and data that they're using to go advocate for additional slow streets programs with their city council. And we were also able to show that pedestrians did socially distance when that space was given to them in the street. They also gave us some glowing testimonials and actually submitted our project to the Smart 50 Awards, which recognizes the top 50 smart city projects each year, and we did win one. Our secondary project was with University of British Columbia in Vancouver. We looked at a busy intersection along their Canada's border, specifically to look at risky behaviors and safety issues. And we did find that pedestrians and cars tended to be co-located or co-present in crosswalks, especially at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And this indicated that these were the highest times for potential multimodal conflicts and crashes. And one of the great outcomes of this project is that their Department of Transportation Services has since purchased us, and they'll be deploying 10 sensors around their campus, recognized as a cost-effective way of monitoring multimodal traffic movements without infringing on privacy rights. Lastly, we used our time with Safe and Connected and the mentorship they provided to help us design motorbike detection. We previously did not detect motorcycles, mopeds, scooters, and we were able to develop that new detector so that we can add them among the modes that we detect. And wonderfully, the outcome of that so far has been that our new model detects motorbike 30% more accurately than open source models, and overall our algorithm is more accurate at detecting all kinds of objects, 13% better than we previously did. Alongside this program, we achieved some inflection points that we are really proud of. We doubled our team and reached operational profitability, which sets us up extremely well to fundraise later this year. We also grew our professional services, kind of consulting and data science related revenue by 872%, which was a great learning for us that that's actually a place where our customers can really grow their interactions with Numina, and we can grow the size of our contracts. And then recently we received our first patent, which we're very excited about because that allows us to be more easily sole sourced by our customers who often have to go through public procurement processes. So we want to thank very deeply our partners in this project. Aviva was wonderful in providing mentorship and feedback on the product and how to make us useful, especially for the insurance sector. We also want to thank Highline Beta for their support in facilitating all of this. Both of them introduced us to the City of Kitchener, who were wonderful partners and gave us really valuable learnings to take forward in our product. And we want to thank University of British Columbia for allowing us to use their data in advancing our insights around multimodal safety for this program. Please be in touch if you have any questions, and we look forward to working with you further in the future.
Hi, I'm Scott Kaler, President and Chief Scientist of Weatherlogix. Today I'm going to talk to you about solving the weather problem. We all know that severe weather is dangerous, but most businesses assume there's nothing they can do about the weather. At Weatherlogix, we believe that it's time to be proactive in dealing with weather problems rather than waiting for disaster to strike. Severe weather is a big cost for business. About 30% of GDP is affected by weather, which amounts to over $7 trillion in North America alone. On the scale of a trucking company, one weather-related accident costs on average $25,000, and for a fleet of trucks of 500, this amounts to about $750,000 per year. In the insurance industry, one hailstorm in Calgary in 2020 cost over $1 billion. But you can take action. While we can't prevent every weather-related problem, does that mean we shouldn't try to prevent any? If you're in retail, would you just allow theft to continue just because you couldn't prevent every thief? At Weatherlogix, we're a team of meteorologists and software developers that are using technology to turn weather data into actionable information for businesses. Some examples of the work that we do are, for example, in trucking, providing information about how severe weather will change road conditions, in insurance, informing when hail may affect homes or businesses, in agriculture, when is a good time to spray crops, and in government, is it a good time to apply salt and will it be effective, or is it wasting resources? With Aviva and Highline Beta, over the past winter we launched a program in the trucking industry where we brought road weather data to companies with a combined fleet of over 6,000 trucks. Our goal was to use weather information to improve safety and lower costs.